President Trump said to President Zelensky that you don't have any cards, and it snowballed into a difficult conversation. What leverage does Ukraine have at this point?
I believe in the strength of my people. I believe in the strength of our soldiers. We have this spirit, high and moral, to resist. So once again, we want to end this war this year. We need support of international community because it's about principles. It's about principles and restoration of the old order based on international law.
Do you believe that your president was insulted in the meeting with Donald Trump at the White House?
President Zelensky is the president of the country which is in war.
Yes.
So that's why he protected his country, he protected his people.
It's a yes or no question.
I explained the position of the president which is in war, of the country which is in war.
I'll tell you why I asked this, because the Americans are mediating this conversation. And do you believe that after what happened in the Oval Office, do you see them as fair arbitrators?
We had really very constructive and productive meeting in Jeddah. We put our bilateral relations on a proper diplomatic way. We gave a good impulse for the intensification, for the further intensification of our bilateral contacts at all levels. We accepted their proposal of the ceasefire. We need American side. We need the engagement of American side. We need their leadership, and we believe that we have an additional opportunity with the President Trump to end this war this year.
He's going to be talking to President Putin today, and Russia has spelled out its position just like you have, and they have some clear demands, including no European soldiers as a peacekeeping force in Ukraine and so on. And it is believed that the United States may be inclined to give some of those concessions to the Russians. If that happens, are you ready to walk back on some of your demands?
Once again, Ukraine accepted this ceasefire unconditionally. The same we expect from Russian side. I remember, believe me, I remember very well first proposal from Russian side from the beginning of this brutal Russian aggression. It was the language of ultimatums and capitulation. They demanded our capitulation, and they didn't change their approach. They don't want to recognize us as an independent state. That's why it is so important to support these peace efforts to achieve just and comprehensive, long-lasting peace. Once again, no restrictions of Ukrainian army capacities. What does it mean, just and comprehensive peace? No possibility to restrict our choice to become a member of any unions, of any allies. No compromises at the cost of our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Ukraine will never recognize any part of territories occupied by Russians. So all these things are crucial and fundamental in our peace process. Let's start to implement. Let's start with a ceasefire.
You think Russia will give up the territory that it controls? I mean, they have the upper hand, it seems, on the battlefield. The Ukrainian soldiers are on the back foot in Kursk.
We will never recognize territories occupied by Russia. We will never recognize.
How do you
expect? We have diplomatic tools. We
Yes.
have diplomatic instruments. Now it's a time for diplomacy to demonstrate this power, to pressure. Also to pressure Russia.
You think diplomacy will work after more than 2 years of war and thousands of sanctions?
I believe, yes. We could try to use diplomacy. For example, this meeting in Jeddah.
Yes.
It was really important one, and we could expect further developments. Let's give a chance to diplomacy.
But that meeting came after a lot of pressure from your allies in the US.
So let's give a chance to diplomacy to use all the instruments to achieve just and comprehensive, long-lasting
I think that
peace.
would be the best, to give diplomacy a chance,
Yes.
and that is what India
And
has
we
also...
share this approach.
Absolutely, absolutely.